Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to welcome our graduates for 2013 UBC. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the academic procession.
Please remain standing. My name is Sarah Morgan Sylvester, and I am honored to be the Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Please join us in the singing of O Canada, led by our University Marshal, Nancy Hermiston, Director of the Opera and Voice Program at the UBC School of Music. Thank you very much, Nancy. We pause for a moment to give thanks, spiritual and temporal, for the blessings we share in this wonderful world, this great country, this blessed province, this splendid university. And we respectfully acknowledge the traditions and customs of the Okanagan Nation and its people, in whose traditional territories we are gathered today. We give thanks for these proud students, their families, and friends on this most happy occasion. Please be seated. Well, a warm welcome to you all, to our 2013 graduates, to your parents, family, and friends who are joining you here today in this celebration of your achievement. What a wonderful and long-awaited day. Congratulations. Spring is my favorite time of year. Gardens burst into growth, fruit trees blossom, the sun feels great. It's definitely stopped raining. No longer vitamin D deprived, we seem to smile a bit more and have a bounce in our step. Newly energized, we clean house and plant seeds. Spring is a time of growth and rejuvenation, and like this graduation ceremony, it's also a celebration of transition. Any transition, while exciting, is a challenge. Adjusting from student to full-time employment, from undergraduate to graduate studies, from what you are now to what you will be in the future. Facing any change of magnitude takes a degree of courage. I'm a gardener, so I see spring up close, and it's not always pretty. I cut tent caterpillar nests out of fruit trees, clip off rose leaves infected with black spot, and use the garden hose to rinse away aphids. Spring can be frustrating. I can't grow beets for the life of me, and I am endlessly weeding. Spring brings unexpected results, like my clematis, carefully positioned to climb up, hide a downspout, and run along the top of my garage. I planted that clematis 3 times, and finally this spring, success. Not as expected with clematis number 3, but with the first plant, long ago forgotten and written off as a failure. Spring and setbacks go hand in hand. But then I'm not sure you can have growth and rejuvenation without the odd setback. The 100-Foot Journey, a novel by Richard Moraes, is about transition. Hassan Haji, a Muslim born in Mumbai, is raised in a culinary family. His grandfather has a tiffin lunch delivery service, and then later a modest restaurant. They live in transition on the edges of a slum. As Hassan says, we were not of the shanty town or of the upper classes of Malabar Hill, but instead lived on the exposed fault line between these two worlds. Living on an exposed fault line does not sound comfortable. But many of us do exactly that as we struggle to reconcile our home life and our work world, our cultural roots, and the culture of the place where we live today, our families' expectations, and our own hopes and dreams. I once believed that transition consisted of a concrete series of events with a clear start and a definite ending, like going to university and successfully graduating. But now, I think life is an overlapping series of transitions, and it's not always comfortable. Looking back, perhaps one of the greatest benefits of attaining my UBC degree was that the process made me decidedly uncomfortable. I was challenged with living on my own, making new friends, and understanding new concepts. There was certainly frustration and the odd setback, but like spring, it was a period of great personal growth. I hope we've made you a bit uncomfortable too. And with that, given you the tools to not just cope, but thrive with transition. In the 100-Foot Journey, Hassan's mother understands the importance of new experiences and exposes him to different cultures through food. They dine at a French restaurant together, and in Hassan's words, "The strangeness of the place overwhelmed me. I didn't know where to begin with this stiff menu, such exotic-sounding dishes like bouillabaisse and coq au vin, and I looked panic-stricken at my mother. But Mummy smiled kindly and said, 'Never be afraid of trying something new, Hassan. Very important. It is the spice of life.' A university is like a smorgasbord of new things. And while sometimes it may feel as though you've been drinking out of a fire hose, your next new experience is just around the corner. As you graduate, your challenge is to keep finding ways to have those new experiences. Experiences that make you feel just a bit uncomfortable. Now, I'm not suggesting that you be one of the 35 and counting Canadians signed up for the Mars One project, but it's important to keep your world large, to seek and embrace change. Those changes don't need to take you to new planets. Sometimes the most challenging transitions are those closest at hand. For example, the title, The 100-Foot Journey, refers to the distance between the only 2 restaurants in a small French village. The Haji's larger-than-life, boisterous East Indian restaurant and a traditional 2 Michelin star French restaurant and country inn. The journey may only be 100 feet. But it is the most uncomfortable and difficult part of Hassan's transition from cook to truly great chef. When I was first asked to be UBC's volunteer chancellor, the thought made me a little uncomfortable too. After all, I'm not an academic. My background is in business. But I try to do something that scares me on a regular basis. And you know what? I found that this group is not really that scary after all. The rewards and my own personal growth have been immense. And one of the greatest rewards is the opportunity to confer degrees on all of today's graduating students. So let me end my comments by offering you my warmest and most sincere congratulations on your achievement. Change is a challenge. Just ask astronaut Chris Hadfield, now transitioning back to Earth's gravity. Even so, I do hope you will seek out the exposed fault line and experience the growth of your own personal spring. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Toop, and I have the honor to serve as President and Vice Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Let me join in expressing my sincere congratulations to each and every one of our graduates, and I hope you will take a moment to really savor this achievement, which is not only yours, but that of your family and friends. Every year at Convocation, UBC bestows honorary degrees upon individuals who, in the opinion of the university community, have fit the criteria of excellence and eminence in their chosen field. Patrick Lane is one such person, and I invite him now to step forward to receive his honorary degree. Madam Chancellor, it's in the context of this university's highest values, the pursuit of excellence, free inquiry, and the enhancement of our society, that I am honored to cite the contributions of Patrick Lane, one of Canada's finest poets. Mr. Lane's career over the past 50 years has been a deeply personal journey, but one that he has shared widely through his prolific and profound work. Mr. Lane brings to the page an extremely rare combination of incisive observation, bold honesty, and an extraordinary facility with language that gives readers new, sometimes humbling and often challenging ways to appreciate the human condition and the natural world around us. Mr. Lane has published more than 27 books of poetry, a book of short stories, and a memoir about his fight with alcohol and drug addiction. Among his great achievements is the highly acclaimed novel Red Dog, set right here in the Okanagan. After graduating from high school in Vernon, Mr. Lane tried his hand at several jobs, including logging and truck driving, before he chose a career in poetry. He's traveled extensively and lived in various parts of Canada, finally settling on Vancouver Island with his wife, poet Lorna Crozier, an award-winning poet in her own right. Mr. Lane has earned many of Canada's major literary awards for poetry, including the Governor-General's Award, the Canadian Authors Association Award, and the CBC National Prize for Poetry. In 2007, he received British Columbia's highest literary honor, the Lieutenant Governor's Award for Literary Excellence. Mr. Lane is known as a brilliant teacher and a tireless mentor, nurturing many new writers. Madam Chancellor, for his significant contributions to the literary life of Canada, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa upon Patrick Lane.
By the authority of the Okanagan Senate of this university, I confer upon you, Patrick Lane, the title and degree Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
It now gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Lane to say a few words.
Wow. All my beets didn't grow in my garden. 2 rows and they didn't grow. Madam Chancellor, President, all of the hierarchical dignitaries who are sitting here today on this stage and elsewhere, all of you remarkable young people, distinguished guests, faculty, graduates, families, friends, it's an honor to be asked to address you today and to thank you too for honoring me with the doctorate. Back in early December of 1958, I was 19 years old, living with my wife and baby boy in a 2-room apple picker's shack a few miles down the road from here. I had a job driving dump truck for a 2-bit outfit that was working on a short stretch of highway just down the hill from where this university was built so many years later. I remember leaving the shack and walking out to stand by the highway in the wind and snow. I stood there, shivering in my canvas coat as I waited to be picked up by the grader operator in his rusted pickup truck. The sky was hard and gray. Its only gift that winter day was ice disguised as a fragile, bitter snow. As I stood there in the false dawn, I looked up for a moment, and as I did, an iridescent blue butterfly, the size of my palm, fluttered down and rested on the sleeve of my coat, just above my wrist. It was winter. It was cold, and I knew the Okanagan Valley, where I had lived most of my young life, did not harbor huge, shiny blue butterflies, not even in summer. I remember stripping off my gloves and cupping the insect in my hands, lifting that exquisite creature to the warmth of my mouth in the hope that I could save it from the cold. I breathed upon the butterfly with the helplessness we all have when we are faced with an impossible and inevitable death, be it quail or crow, gopher, hawk, child, or dog. I cupped that delicate butterfly in the hollow of my hands, and I ran back to the picker's shack in the hope that somehow the warmth from the morning fire in the wood stove might save it. But when I reached the door and opened my hands, the butterfly died. I do not know now what strange Santa Ana Squamish or Sirocco jet stream wind blew that sapphire butterfly from far off Mexico, the Congo, or the Philippines to this valley. I only know the butterfly found its last moments in my hands. I have never forgotten it, and I know the encounter changed me. There are mornings in our lives when beauty falls into our hands, and when that happens, we must do what we can to nurture and protect it. That we sometimes fail must never preclude our striving. The day the beautiful creature died in my hands, I looked up into the dome of the hard, cold sky, and I swore to whatever great spirit resided up there in the dark clouds that I would live my life to the full, and above all, I would treasure beauty. I swore, too, that I'd believe in honesty, faithfulness, love, and truth. The words I spoke were huge abstractions, the ones the young sometimes use, but I promised them to myself, and now, more than half a century later, I stand here in front of your young minds, your creative spirits, your beautiful lives, and I can tell you that I have tried. I told myself that year, and in the subsequent years in the sawmill crews and construction gangs I worked with, that I would become a writer, a poet, a man who would create an imagined world out of the world I lived in, that I would witness my life and the lives of the others I knew with words. The years went by, filled with the tragedies and losses that all our lives are filled with. My brother's early death, my father's murder, my divorce, the loss of my children did not change the promises I made. And there were times, too, I lived a dissolute, irresponsible, and destructive life. There were times, too, when I was depressed and wretched. But I continued to believe, in spite of my weaknesses and fears. I wandered the world, and as I did, I wrote of the lives that shared my times. And I wrote of this Okanagan Valley, its lakes and hills, its stones, cacti, cutthroat trout, magpies, rattlesnakes, and yes, its butterflies. What I've told you is a story. It arose from my life, for where else but from a life can a story come? What I promise each of you is that there will come a day or night, a morning or an evening, when something as rare and fine as the blue sapphire butterfly will fall into your hands from a cold sky. A fearful child will climb into your bed and cleave to you. A woman or a man will weep, will laugh, will sleep with you in the sure belief that the one they abide with is governed by a good and honest love. No matter the degrees you have earned and the knowledge you have accumulated, remember to believe in yourselves and to believe in each other. In a world as fearful as our present one, I ask that you not be afraid. Today is merely an hour. Remember, in the time ahead of you, to hold out your hands so that beauty may fall safely into them and find a place, however briefly, to rest. Thank you.
Thank you for placing beauty in our hands. I'm now honored to invite Professor Deborah Buzzard, Deputy Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Okanagan campus, to make remarks and to introduce other speakers. Professor Buzzard.
Thank you very much, President Toop. A very hard act to follow. I'd like to speak to the graduates of 2013. You here on our new Okanagan campus. You are the pioneer generation of students from this new UBC. And indeed, you have made our campus much richer by your presence, and you will continue to do so by the promise that you take from here out into the world. What an experience you have had here while you and this campus were built together. You've lived through the mud and the huts and the building sites, and the classes moved from place to place. But now it looks almost as good as you all do today. When you began here as students, you were encouraged to make this university experience your own. Many times during your years of study, you have heard the UBC motto or seen it. It's on the wall behind me, tuum est. It translates to, it is yours, or it's up to you. And now that you're graduating, this phrase takes on new meaning. In fact, the future is up to you. We live in a world of rapid transformation as technological changes compel us to do things differently, to live in a more connected fashion than at any time before. Much of this is good. We're coming to our senses with regards to the environment. Social injustices are harder to hide and harder to hide from. And advances in healthcare hold the promise of improving billions of lives. But there's so much that we can and must change. International strife, famine, and too many gross injustices continue to undermine the civil and sustainable world that we all seek. And this is where you will shine, where your impact will be felt in business, education, across the sciences, the arts, in politics and health. Your UBC education and experiences have equipped you to improve your communities and to contribute to the world in so many meaningful ways. Simply put, we, my generation in particular, look to you to make the world a better place. We know that you're smarter than us and that you have the capacity for bold and great contributions. I know I speak for our entire campus community in saying that we are enormously proud to have been a part of your preparation for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. We have given you our very best. You've benefited from the wonderful professors, the opportunities to learn and grow far beyond any classroom into the community and the world. And we have grown and learned with you. So it's natural that we have tremendous hope for the future, because our shared future is very much in your capable hands. I'll quote Nelson Mandela, a man who completed his university studies in prison. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, and we know that you will use yours to do just that. I close with sincere congratulations on the achievements that have brought you to this very special day here. Our university aspires to change the world, and you are the people who make real our ambitions. It is over to you now. Tuum est. Think and act boldly. Innovate and contribute. You can, you must, you will make the world a better place. We wish you the greatest of success on the exciting new journeys you all begin today. Thank you. I'm pleased at this time to call upon Mr. Lee Hannigan, a member of the graduating class, to make remarks and introduce the gifts to the university.
Madam Chancellor and honored guests, thank you. Fellow graduates, congratulations. On behalf of the class of 2013, it is my privilege to tell you all about a commemorative stone tablet that has been placed in the main courtyard walkway. This legacy gift represents lifelong ties and is a lasting tribute to each and every proud alumnus who once worked and played here. We made it. We have succeeded. We are now adequately prepared for the future. Are we? I'm finding it difficult to reflect upon the last 4 years, though they most certainly do deserve praise and recognition, while an unknowable future looms before us. The doors that have opened at the end of the road are leading into unlit corridors. The future we have prepared for is impossible to foresee. We are historians. We have memorized dates and names, wrestled with formulas and theories. We have sunk our teeth into whatever we can from the past in an earnest attempt to make sense of our present and to fantasize our future. Many of us began in search of answers, but found instead uncertainty. Our time here, however, has taught us that uncertainty is a necessary side effect of the pursuit of knowledge. Our time here has taught us to embrace uncertainty, to consider it possibility. In a recent conversation about the upcoming graduation ceremonies, I was asked, what has my education given me, despite a healthy dose of skepticism, that will help me or us weather the environmental and economic challenges to come? I let the question sit for a week, then 2 weeks. Even now, I am unable to come up with an answer. but perhaps my non-answer is appropriate. Our educations have not trained us to search for answers. Our educations have confirmed creativity and imagination as efficient means through which we might better understand ourselves and the world around us. More than making us skeptical, our educations have made us curious. They have fitted us with an inquisitive lens and have taught us that the search for questions is much more important than the search for answers. We know some things, but generally speaking, questions are all we have. We have been trained to bring forward ideas and taught to look not only at what something is, but to imagine how it might be transformed into something more meaningful for both communities and individuals. We have been given the necessary tools for researching the world and have been encouraged to think about things in ways that nobody has thought about them. I struggle to deliver a message that will adequately reflect the university experience of more than 1,400 graduates. But if I can make one safe generalization, propose something shared among us, it is this. In a world that does not encourage us to ask questions, we are now more imaginative and curious than ever. William Blake described unimaginative thought metaphorically as mind-forged manacles, and said that only through imaginative thought are we capable of making sense of the world, of discovering meaning. Our time here has given us the tools for loosening these shackles. Our time here has opened our minds to possibility and hope, enabling us to use our knowledge for the best and wisest purposes. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? That's you. Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting the candidates for degrees who have successfully completed their studies and fulfilled the conditions that the university has set for them. The Okanagan Senate of this university recommends them to you for the degrees that will be announced by a representative of the faculties. As each degree is officially conferred, the Dean of the Faculty, and in the case of graduate students, the Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, will congratulate the students. Roy Collins and Myrtle Miller, members of the alumni community, will present each student with an alumni gift. The candidates will please be seated.
Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Natasha Rebery. Dr. Rebery examined the affinities between Gothic literature and late 19th century psychological theories of dissociation. This interdisciplinary research links literature with the theories and practices of mental science to show the dynamic exchange between the two. Dr. Rebery. Frisia Sanchez. Dr. Sanchez analyzed the novel Historia Tragicomica de Don Enrique de Castro from 1617 and demonstrated that it is an innovative historical narrative, the first of many that incorporates elements of the discovery and conquest of the New World. Her research establishes that this novel should be considered for a more accurate assessment of the early modern Spanish novel. Dr. Sanchez. Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Master of Arts. Kyla Ayers. Natasha Larissa Sharp. Snigdha Madhuri. Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Master of Fine Arts, Nicole Cormasi, Julie Ann Fowler,
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidate for the degree of Master of Arts, Faria Madhumita. Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Management, Kenton Dalen Greshkowitz, Nikki Dollywall, Jeffrey Gibbons, Derek Sand, Amanda Spindor, Matthew Warren,
Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts. Marley Henault, Natalie Rice, Amy Noelle Stetzel, Ryan Ennis, Lee Hannigan, Sarah Kent, Jada McDermott, Kirsten Barkved, Daniel Weinberg, Sumin On, Jordan R. Cobble, Emily Clarice Candborg, Rebecca Klein, Rumanique Nanar, Lauren Christina Mayer, Samantha Bailing, Allison Brody, Cameron Welch, Ashley Michelle Kale, Jamie Douglas Ihaxi, Alexa Page Kingsmith. Justin Lauren. Erin Barbara Jessie Milne. David Peacock. Gwen Pierce. Ashlyn Prohl. Travis Richard Rowe. Linda Diane Sen. Kirsten Kramer. Kaylee Jade Shadeen. Lindsay May Lewis. Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the recipient of the UBC Medal in Arts, Head of Graduating Class in Arts, Bachelor of Arts degree, Megan Marianne Ross. Janice Ann Griffian. Kevin William Nickel. Jill Cranswick. Sarah Miller. Lindsay Smith. Sarah Elizabeth Lane. Jessica Patricia Milroy. Julie Pinault. Alyssa Troyan. Terry Watty. Lauren Nolan. Jennifer Ellen Johnson. Jane Square. Rachel Ocean Robinson. Carly Sierra Smith. Jace Ma. Carrie-Ann Kirkby Amundsen. Alexandra Kumari Philpott Adikari. Catherine Albright. Ara Momtazi. Aria Momtazi. Bree Franson. Shalane Christian Thompson. Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Fine Arts. The first candidate there is Alexander Eastman. Natalia Lee Hotala. Nadine Bradshaw. Kirk Shavery. Angela Marie Duclos. John Fash. Marcia Farrow. Lauren Valerie Jamel. Ian Hoyt. Angelica Yeager. Elise Kavanaugh. Samantha Jarrett McMahon. Sylvia Miranda. Dale Mousseau. Angela Hope Popoff. Dylan Logan Ranney. Jennifer Rogavine. Darren Sim. Jenna Stillwell. Poan Wang. Emily Collins. Kendall Cowley. Tanya Freak. Laura Gurley. Emilia Schmidt. Michelle Lynn Wilmot. Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you a candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science. Kareem Alphonse Aziz.
Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Management. Erica Lee Alvarez. Fiorella Avolio. Susanna Baez. Jody Baker. Alex Banfield. Jonathan Barron. Nick Beedman. Lindsay Beda. Michael Beniwal. Lena Berry. Melissa Bilko. Laura Carolyn Blackwell. Kwame Boating. Robert Michael Brady. Shelby Burkhart. Christina Bai. Jing Cao. Anna Isabel Castro. Helen Hoying Chan. Keenan Cheng. Ella Chien. Jackie Kai-Sing Ching. Alexander Chandro. Teresa Costanzo. Shalane Couch. Elliot DeRitter. Emily Rebecca Delaney. Chenzi Ding. Sarah Dow. Jeffrey Thomas Ebern. Sierra Renee Elliott. Catherine Helen Ellis. Kendra Lee Aeneas. Allison Sarah Engel. Catherine Yuanchuk. Krista Fabro. Francisca Fortes. Shelby Taylor Foth. Rainer Friesen. Kelly Lynn Furness. Christopher James Gallozo. Angela G. Michael Gibson. Jacqueline Godbout. Stacy Grattan. Marco Greshak. Robin Leslie Griffiths. Nicholas James Gunn. Jade Kathleen Hallett. Alan Healy. Carrie Holmes. Nina Jatana. Navdeep Kandola. Farah Khan. Uma Kurmanbekova. Madam Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the head of the graduating class and the winner of the University of British Columbia Medal in Management, Veronica Kionka. Madison Leibel. Man Lu Leung. Melissa Leung. Chun Lee. Anton Lovin. Li Yuan Liu. Dylan John Gregory Loomer. Dustin Luck. Daniel Lipchuk. Tyler George Magass. David Mackay. Lee Maingo. Stephanie Malcolm. Izan Mankanova. Kayla Mann. Jamie Marie McConaughey. Stefan Massaros. Kelsey Millsap. Cody John Moreze. Tyler Murray. Dave Nixon. Kylene Norum. Mamie O'Neill. Cassandra Otter. Yi Eric Pan. Andrea Lynn Patterson. Ashley Poksa. Diana Pope. Amar Purwal. Elena Renton. Vanessa Roberts. Megan Roger. Amanda Grace Rolfe. Praveen Sahai. Adam Sale. Alyssa Salonga. Jolene Sanderson. Rajveer Sandhu. Shivneet Sidhu. Joey Soong. Stefan Stretnikov. Amber Jillian Stanbridge. Kyla Staples. Kyla Stewart. Shelby Lee Stewart. Brandon William Strong. Derek Michael Strukoff. Chi Sun. Ranjit Singh Takar. Sabrina Tikhomarov. Alexandra Michelle Upward. Quinton Ursuline. Jerome Voss. Seema Voida. Ray Wang. Yuhan Wang. Graham Wystock. Ashley Willis. Ian Marshall Young. Xiaoping Yue. Jing Shang. Ying Zhao. Han Zhu. Jamil Ismail Al-Ramahi. Ji Yi Bu. Christopher Paul Carter. Ryan Kenneth Hatch. Shi Yi Huang. Stefan Andreas Laforge. Maurizio Sorano. 1-1. Ashley Victoria Bigelow. Crystal Chan. Samit Daliwal. Rochelle Desiree Nielsen. Kayla Rose Orchard. Jasmine Parr. Manreet Kaur Sidhu. Geraldine Liting Song. Ben Wexler. Emily Wright.
Who have just crossed the stage today, and for all of those who were unable to attend today's ceremony, with respect to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program, I hereby admit you. Will all the graduates please rise? It has been my great pleasure to meet and congratulate each member of today's graduating class. You've each invested a great deal of determination, focus, and hard work in obtaining your degree. And now, just as you graduate, this would be a perfect time for you to turn around and show your appreciation for the support of your parents, family, and friends by giving them a big round of applause. Having crossed this stage today, you are now members of the Convocation of UBC. You are in good company. Since UBC began granting degrees in 1916, more than 290,000 women and men have crossed a stage just like this one to receive their degrees and have gone on to build our communities and shape our society. As alumni, your relationship with UBC is beginning anew. You can maintain your voice in the affairs of UBC through your elected members in Senate, by mentoring today's students, or by participating in UBC's many volunteer opportunities both here and abroad. And as lifelong learners, you're always welcome to come back and take a course or two. I encourage you to stay involved and be part of the future of this great institution. You have so much to offer UBC, as it still has much to offer you. To amassed. Please be seated.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our ceremony to a close. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I, and that all of you will be able to stay and join us for refreshments, which will be served in the courtyard immediately after the ceremony. Guests are requested to remain in their places until the academic processions have left the building. Thank you all for joining us today. I know you'll join me just one last time in congratulating the fabulous 2013 graduates of UBC.